Camille.
Thank you, Emmanuel.
Yes, it's working. Hi.
Hi. No risk with slides. What do you know about food demand in India and Southeast Asia by 2030? Well, I've learned 3 facts. 1, food spending is expected to double. 2, 1.2 billion consumers are expected to join the upper middle class category. 3, food consumption is shifting, and food demand for fruits, vegetables, and protein is expected to be multiplied by 4. All while there is currently not a sustainable food supply chain. I'm Camille Savoie. I come from Loudun. For those who know about the French geography, it's close to another not so big city called Poitiers. I grew up on the farm with a dad farmer, growing melon, 80 hectares of melon. Personally, the one I like is the Charentais, for its sweet orange flesh with a greenish exterior. And that might surprise you, but I like it with bread. I'm French, after all. Growing up on the farm, I learned the value of sustainable farming, and it is essential not only for the environment, but also to ensure a resilient food supply chain. On my journey to make an impact at my scale, not so big as you can see, I've joined ResponsAbility, a pioneer in impact investing. At ResponsAbility, we were founded 20 years ago. We have invested $15 billion since inception, and we are now located in 9 offices with 270 employees across Latin America, Africa, Asia, and Europe. But back to the food systems problem. We came up with a solution, the Sustainable Food Asia strategy. The strategy is based on the performance of the first fund, currently at a 20% IRR. Past performance is no guarantee of future result. Sorry, that was the compliance officer speaking on my behalf. Back to the investment. So we invest in growth equity capital, focus on companies that use technology and innovation to implement transformative business model. Those investments aim at 3 goals: promote sustainable agriculture, enhance rural livelihood, and strengthen the agricultural value chain. For example, we invested in a company in Indonesia specialized into aquaculture. And this really much fulfilled what I just mentioned. Not only in improve the life of the fishermen, but it also brings sustainable fresh protein at scale. We launched the fund last year with the first close at 174 million. And we are now looking for 100 million more. If you are interested, please contact me, scan the QR code, and I will be happy to be in touch. Thank you for listening.
Thank you. Thank you, Camille.
Thank you.
Questions on sustainable food strategy in Asia? Thank you. Yes.
Hello, Camille.
It should be working.
Behind you.
Thank you. Sorry. Thank you for your presentation. Just a quick question. Could you please provide another example than the company you've mentioned, the fishing company, and maybe why this type of company choose to work with you?
That's a good question. Thank you. Another example. We invested in India in a marketplace which link the farmer, the smallholder farmers, and the end consumer. Because the problem in India, and actually in lot of other emerging markets, is that you have the farmer and then 4, 5, 6, sometimes more, middlemen, which add little value, not to say any value on the product, just increasing the price. And the companies that we invested in they reduce the supply chain. So not only from a social perspective, it increased the revenue of the smallholder farmers. On the end consumer, you pay less. And at the same time, because the supply chain is less important, it has a climate impact, less transport, etc. On your second part of the question, I think they come to us because we are sector specialists. We have been investing in food and ag during 20 years. Second, those are mostly targeting IPO, and they know that once this time comes, they will have to face ESG impact issue. So they have to be ready. So they want to speak to an impact specialist and a sector specialist. So they like to talk with someone that they can relate on. And lastly, I think it's really important.
Thank you.
Okay, perfect. That's
Last question, yes, because we had another question. Thank you. And please follow the conversation with the rest of the answer. Yes.
Thank you. I have a question in regards to your investments in Southeast Asia in terms of what your plans are for resilience and adaptation solutions. For example, your aquaculture farm in Indonesia, if it's a tsunami that hits or any other climate shock, what are your prevention measures that you're putting in place for it not to spill in the ocean and create a devastating marine issue? And the same for your India case, please. Thank you.
Thank you for the question.
Adaptation is a big topic. If there is a tsunami for our aquaculture company, I guess that's a big risk, that's for sure. But I guess if it's a tsunami in Indonesia, that will be a risk for everyone. So that might be difficult for the company to live with that. But that's part of our assessment, adaptation risk, climate. We have other funds which are dedicated to adaptation, actually. So we have the in-house specialist towards adaptation, and which can assess this part of the risk. Because yes, it is yes, that's true that it is a risk.
Thank you, and please follow up with the conversation at the networking section. Thank you, Camille.